Hello and welcome to today's speed build. If you're new here, thank you so much for joining us, and if not, then welcome back. So today we're building in the world of Granite Falls. Now this is a world that I don't think I've actually ever built in. It's the world that came with the outdoor retreat game pack, and it's one of those worlds that you aren't really supposed to build in it. Like, that's not supposed to be something that you can do, but obviously by using cheats like the enable free build, you are able to build in these kinds of worlds. And these are like your holiday world. So this is where you go if you're wanting to go on holiday and you're wanting to maybe do some like camping. This is the world that you would go to, and I thought it would be super fun to build something kind of camp vibes because we are getting the new Adventure Awaits expansion pack today. Actually, I think it technically isn't out yet. It comes out at 6 p.m. BST, so I'm not too sure what that is for UK time, but it is coming out today. I am really excited to play around with that pack. But I thought, since I don't get early access or anything like this, I thought it might be fun to do something that is themed around that, but from using all of our packs that we already have. And of course, once I get the new expansion, I will do a build featured around that. But yeah, in this video I use a lot of the outdoor retreat pack, and I just tried to use lots of things that really would help bring this build together. Now, the idea I had in mind for these is that they're kind of like cabin rentals. So we have like 3 sort of lodges, I would say, and I did make them the A-frame style. I just thought that was super fun. I've only built one A-frame in the past, and I really liked it. I built it when we got, I think it was the I don't know the name of it now. I think it was the art studio kit. That might be completely wrong, but it was themed around like an artistry kit. And I built one for that, and I really liked it. I loved how it turned out. So yeah, I thought this would be a good opportunity to build some more. And as you can see, I am playing around a little bit with the terrain. I wanted there to be a little bit of height difference between the 3 little lodges, just to add a little bit of dynamic going on, a little bit of a change. And I did cut out a lot of me doing some of the terrain just because it took me a while to figure out exactly what I wanted to do with it, and I did have to slightly like move over the lodges. I don't know if you've noticed, but I did move them over just a little bit because there wasn't really enough room with the terrain, but yeah, ended up working out really nicely. You can see there is some bits that definitely need some tweaking, but that kind of happens as the build goes on. I got like my general overall shape, and then I just started tweaking it as I went, which I did cut a lot out because again it was just it was just like a lot. It was a little bit tedious, and there was some little tweaking that I did at the very end that you don't see because it's off camera, but yeah, I just wanted the build to kind of make sense. I wanted it to look very cohesive and smooth, and yeah, it took a lot of time to just get everything looking right, but I'm really happy with how it turned out. Now, each cabin does have its own little pool, which I thought was super sweet. You could maybe pretend that it's like some sort of hot tub or something, because that's normally what you get when you do visit things like lodges. Now, another thing is, because a lot of these are on platforms, you'll notice that the rooms are like slightly shorter than they would be, but I have gameplayed. I was going to say like I've gameplay proofed everything, but I feel like that doesn't make sense. I have play tested everything. And everything works, it goes really well. I didn't have any issues once I had tweaked the final things. There was a few things initially. For example, there was some routing issues. My sim was walking like all around to the back and then all around to the front, and yeah, it was just a little bit annoying. So I managed to like move things and now it works perfectly fine. But yeah, hopefully you don't get any issues like that. Routing issues was the one I was most worried about, but yeah, it actually wasn't too terrible. Now, I did have in mind that actually, like, the back of these was technically the front, because I feel like it makes sense that the area with the pool would be like the back. So yeah, there's kind of like a back door, like a sliding door, and I thought technically it's the back, but you know, it's the front of the build, if that makes sense. But yeah, obviously you can look at it however you like, but I just thought that made a little bit more sense. But yeah, anyway, something I just wanted to mention, you'll probably notice that we are building in autumn right now. I do end up switching it quite soon, I think in the next maybe like 10 minutes, to summertime, because although it is autumn in real life and I love it, I love the vibe, and I thought it did look pretty cute in the autumn, I just really liked how it looked in the summer. I thought it made a little bit more sense, and I thought it was more fitting to kind of be in spirit of the Adventure Awaits expansion pack, because I think that is kind of themed around like summer camps and things. So yeah, it just made a little bit more sense. Now, one of the things I'm really excited for in this new pack is actually the like module, I think it's like module playgrounds, and what you can do is you can make your own like custom playgrounds with these modules. And something I'm super excited about, which is a bit random, is the slides. I really like the idea of like having those slides, because you could use these for like, you could use them as like a showpiece on like builds that, you know, maybe, I don't know, like for example, if you wanted to build like a water park, like you could have actual slides that, you know, they well, I'm hoping they work. I'm hoping you can use it in that way, but even if you couldn't, at least it would look really cool. Because at the moment when we're building water parks, we have to be very creative. We have to be using like pipes and things, and it can be like, you know, it's something that I feel like a lot of people don't really know how to go about it, because it's like, how do you build something when you don't have the item? And it does cause you to have to be very creative. And so now we actually have designated yeah, slide pieces, and I just think that is so fun. So yeah, I am super excited about that. And yeah, I think I'm definitely going to be building some kind of water park, because that just sounds so fun. I feel like it's a shame that it didn't come out in like summertime, because that would have been the perfect time for something like that. But I'm not going to complain. I still think it's really, really cool. I think we've also got a lot of like things like moths and butterflies and such that we can add to things like water. So that's really cool. I know we've got a new clock. The new clock is really cute actually. And yeah, we've just got a lot of fun things. There's a lot of things that I feel like I would definitely use. I think they are subjective in the sense of you're probably going to use them more towards outdoorsy campy things, but that makes sense. That is what the pack is all about. But yeah, I know a lot of people like to know, because they like to know how, you know, usable it's going to be, and if it's something that they can use all the time. And yeah, I think depending on what you're building, you maybe could. But yeah, I've not actually played around with it yet, so I don't have much of an opinion to go off of. So yeah, we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens. Now, talking a little bit more about this build. So we do have the 3 units. Now, they're actually all decorated differently. And I know that maybe that's not realistic, because typically when you go to a lodge, they do tend to have the same floor plan at least, and then possible different furniture. I wanted to switch up the floor plan just a bit, and I wanted to switch up the furniture as well, because I thought it was a little bit more interesting, one, for you guys to watch here on YouTube, but then also if you want to play with it, I feel like it's more fun. You can choose what lodge you like the look of most. The outside is like essentially exactly the same. There's a slight difference with like the front of them, which is like the back of them. There's like a slight difference with windows and stuff, but that's just because of how the placement worked out. But other than that, yeah, they look pretty much identical on the exterior. But yeah, on the inside they do look a little bit different. Floor plan varies a little bit, but yeah, I don't know. I just thought it would be a bit more fun. Now, obviously, If you want to play with this and you want to change that, that's completely fine. You can also download these and have them like unfurnished if you wanted to do that. And then that means you can literally do anything you want to the inside. Like that's definitely something you can do as well. But yeah, I just thought it might be a little bit more fun to have them that way. So hopefully you like that. Now you'll notice little things, or maybe you won't, but I'm noticing it right now. Like for example, that is it like the awning is slightly lower than it's meant to be. Like it's not in the peak of the roof, and it's bothering me. But trust me, I do fix it. I do fix it like very later on, but I do fix it. There was just little things like that. I think I had moved the roofing. I don't even know why I'm mentioning it because it might not have been visible, but one of those things I just like to put it out there. Yeah, I do end up fixing it, but I think I had like moved the roof, and yeah, that ended up making it not add up. But anyway, it's not a big deal. But we're adding some pillars. These were actually like, they look very normal and basic, but I had to use tool mod because they wouldn't sit like underneath that platform. I think because they're on a platform, they were just being a little bit weird. So yeah, I did have to tool mod them, which was a little bit odd. But don't worry, you do not need to have tool mod to download this. Everything will just stay in the same place. So you're fine, don't worry about that. And that sometimes I know people's concerns with tool mod is like that they wonder if they need to have it, but don't worry, you do not need to have it. It will still be completely fine. Now, on the interior of these builds, which I think I do move on to very, very shortly, we actually take advantage of using the bunk beds, because I don't use bunk beds a lot, but I feel like in a place like a lodge, you do find bunk beds, because a lot of the time it's people taking their kids, and I feel like it's just a very like outdoorsy, woodsy thing. I don't know, maybe that sounds silly. Obviously you wouldn't bring your bunk bed to camping, but I feel like in terms of lodges and things like that, there's always bunk beds. Whenever I stayed in a lodge, there was always a bunk bed. So yeah, I thought that was something cute to include. So I think all of these units actually have bunk beds. But yeah, we're finally moving on to the front of these lodges, and I really like how this turns out. I add another little balcony, but this one is not accessible. It's not one that they can go out on and walk on. It's just one for show. Whereas the one at the front, they can of course walk out onto. I did make them a little bit big at first, but I do end up dialing that back just a little bit. And yeah, I think very soon we're going to move on to the interiors. So I think that's just after I do the back of here. I do also do a little bit more terrain back here with like paving and some bushes and trees and stuff too. Now, on the subject of talking about the kind of like hidden worlds, one of the worlds I really love is Selva Dorada. Now, I remember, I think it was a Simlissy video that I had watched, and she is like the sweetest person ever, and it was quite a few years ago I had watched it, but I'm pretty sure it was Selva Dorada she was building in, and it was beautiful. It was a beautiful build, a beautiful world, and I love that world so much, but it's not actually a world that I have like built in or explored properly with building. I've been there with my sim and I've like visited it, and you know, I've kind of like looked around and things, but yeah, like when it comes to the more hidden worlds, I don't really tend to build in them, and I don't know why, because they're so cool. I mean, I keep saying to myself that I really want to build something on Sixum, which, if you don't know, so that's like the alien world. That's the world where it's like set in space. I really want to build there. I think it would be so cool. Like, you could build such a cool, like, I don't know, alien base, and I really want to do it, but for some reason I just haven't came around to it yet. And yeah, now that I'm talking about it, I feel very inspired to do it. But yeah, I feel like I need to branch out a little bit and do stuff like that, and just kind of build things that I want to in a silly way. I know that sounds very silly, but like sometimes I just get caught up in, okay, like I should probably build here and I should probably do this, and you know, I think sometimes I just need to go, I want to build here, and I'm just going to build something like cool and spontaneous. And yeah, let me know, would you want to see something built in the world of 6am? Because again, something that I really want to do, but I just haven't really explored it. And yeah, I now that I'm talking about it, I really want to do it. But anyway, let's talk a little bit, because we are moving on to the interior of one of the lodges. So this is the first lodge, the one on the furthest right side, I believe. And this is, I think, my favorite one. I know it's the first one I did, but I really like it. I love how it turned out. I love the floor plan. It's open plan. It's actually the only one that is open plan. And I just really like it. I love the wood tones. I love the way it worked out. The kind of, I don't know, the overall just shape of the kitchen, the way it just came together. I think it flows together really nicely. And yeah, I'm also adding benches outside, so don't mind me. But I really like this one. Now, I think this is the one that I had the routing issues with originally. So with the living space, the couches were a little bit too close together, so I ended up moving them apart, and now it works absolutely perfectly. It did take me a while to figure out what was in the way, because do you know what bothers me? Your sim doesn't always tell you what's in the way, or like why they're rerouting, and I wish they did. I wish like it came up and said every single time, but it doesn't always. So I moved the chair, I moved the counter, I moved like so many things until I realized it was the couches. And yeah, it wasn't even a big deal. I don't know why I'm mentioning it, but I just thought I would say, just in case you have a similar issue, I really hope you don't, because as I say, I did fix it, but if you do, it could possibly be the chairs, and that they're just acting a bit weird on your computer for some reason, or your console. But yeah, I did fix it. It worked out fine. So yeah, it was no big deal. Now, I originally did try and go for these life or death couches, because I've never actually used them before, and I was like, oh, maybe I should use them because I've not used them before. But yeah, I ended up using these ones from the Book Nook kit. The other ones were just a little bit too dark, and I felt like the colors didn't really go with the cabin look, whereas these ones, they look like they'd be in a cabin, you know. I don't know, it just worked quite nicely. But you can see there where I've kind of moved the couch a little bit too close. There's just not enough room for your sim to kind of get in, so my sim was going all the way around the build and then going in through that big sliding door. Oh, this, don't even watch what's happening on screen. This was me getting really stressed out, okay, because the light does not line up with the table, but then the table needs to line up with the rug, and the rug needs to line up with the couches, and it just, I feel like I might have cut a bit out, but I spent a while just watching the light not line up with the table, and yeah, it really bothered me. Like, it was really stressing me out. Oh yeah, you can see it here. So I was like, should I line it up? Should I move the lamp over? But then the lamp won't be in the middle of the room. It was a big thing. It was taking years off of my life. I didn't know what to do. I think I ended up just kind of accepting it and being like, it's just gonna have to be like that. But yeah, it was I had to just swallow that pride and be like, do you know what? I can't make this work. It just has to be uneven. And it was upsetting, but we got there. It was fine. We got there, but I was sad about it. Yeah, I feel like this lodge is coming together so nicely. I love how it turned out. I really, really liked it. When I did the interior to this one, I was like, how am I going to do the interior to the other ones? And I did debate making it the same exact layout, but again, I just thought, viewing wise, it's not going to be very exciting, so I switched it up a little bit. Hopefully that's all right. But here is the first bedroom. So this bedroom is just a single bed, and then we've got, of course, I think a mirror and then a dresser, and then upstairs we have another single bed, and then a little seating area. So this lodge is designed for 2 Sims, possibly like a child and an adult, or possibly 2 adults. I don't know, you could do whatever you like. You could even have like an elder person and then an adult. I'm not too sure, but I think anything would work. I spent a long time on wallpaper to then just go with this like plain white one, but I think it was one of those things that you overthink it a little bit. But yeah, I think the white made sense, especially when it comes to rentals and things that are like vacation spaces, because white is typically what you find in these kinds of things. Even like hotels and stuff, it tends to be white walls and like white bedding and things like that. Even though I don't necessarily do that when I'm building hotels and stuff, that is typically what they look like. So I didn't think it was unrealistic. I thought it worked pretty well, so I was quite happy with it. But yeah, we've got a rug in here, a little chair. Oh, we do have a TV as well. I forgot about that. I think there's a TV in every bedroom, just to give your Sims something to do. I do also add a chess table on the outside of this one, so it's a little activity that your Sims have. And I think there's a dining table on the middle one, and then I didn't put anything on the last one. So you could put anything you like there. That's completely up to yourself. But yeah, if your Sims are staying in this world, I feel like it's up to yourself what you'd like to do. I don't know if there's like activities within the world that you can maybe go and do, because I feel like that would make the most sense, right? But maybe not. Like, I don't really know. I haven't really played in this world, so I wish I knew a little bit more about it. But I think that's possibly why we're getting like this Adventure Awaits expansion, because maybe that introduces a little bit more to do, a little bit more like activity wise. I feel like in Granite Falls, I mean, just from looking at it, I might be completely wrong, but I don't think there's like a whole bunch to do. You can probably do things like foraging and stuff that you can do in your other worlds, and you can probably like, I don't know, maybe like collect things and learn things. Possibly, but I don't know if there's any like specific activities, so definitely something I'd have to have a wee look into. But yeah, I'm hoping with this Adventure Awaits pack there's going to be a bit more. I'm pretty sure from what I've seen there already is. Like, for example, there's the crossbow shooting training, which looks super fun. You can like, you know, revel your inner Katniss Everdeen, so that's fun. But yeah, I'm really excited. I don't know what time it comes out at. I think I'm probably gonna like be editing a lot of today, because I've got quite a lot of content that I need to definitely get out. One of them being the Changing Leaves Legacy, which is my new legacy challenge, if you're not aware. But yeah, super excited to get like the first episodes of that out. So I think I'm probably gonna check to see what time it comes out at in the UK and maybe set a reminder, and then hopefully I can build something, because I want to get something out very soon for you all. I am trying to upload a little bit more now. It might not seem like it at the moment, but that's one of the reasons I wanted to start my legacy challenge, because it's content that I feel like I'm able to get out maybe throughout the week, as well as like a build video. And I don't know, I just feel like it gives me a bit of an opportunity to get out a little bit more content for you all. By the way, I just furnished the bathroom. That is the only bathroom you see me furnish on camera. Just wanted to mention that. I know, a little bit off topic, but I just thought I'd mention it, because a lot of the time I don't show my bathrooms on camera. I just find them a little bit boring. But yeah, I thought I would show that one at least. But anyway, yeah, I thought that it would be a good way to get content out as well as speed builds. So I'm trying my best to kind of come up with content that is going to be good, that's going to be entertaining, and just trying to build kind of in advance, so that you all have things to look forward to, and that I have videos kind of constantly going up. Because sometimes I get I'm very burnt out from work, and then I get very tired and I'm not really able to get things out, and I hate that. I really don't like that. I love getting content out for you all. So yeah, definitely something that I'm really trying to work on at the moment. And yeah, I'm just trying to see, you know, what possibly I can do to make things a little bit better. And yeah, I just feel bad when I don't upload things all the time. It like, even though it might not be a big deal, I kind of feel like it is, and I feel like I'm letting people down. So yeah, I'm trying really hard to get a lot of stuff out. So hopefully we can build something with the new pack very, very soon. I do have a few builds in progress as well, so I'm excited to get those out, especially for the season of Halloween and autumn. I'm just so excited. I can't wait. And then after that, we're moving on to like winter builds. I don't even think I'm ready to be talking about winter builds. I think like it's too far in advance. I think I will panic if I start to think about winter builds. But once I'm there, I'm gonna be so excited. I love building in the snow. That's one of my favorite things to build in. I just think it makes your builds look so much prettier. So yeah, I can't wait, but at the same time, I can wait, and I will wait. I want to enjoy autumn as much as I can at the moment. Something I've just realised whilst like looking at this build is I actually put a bunk bed up here, and I think I initially said that I put a single bed. I put a bunk bed. So you can actually fit 3 Sims in this lodge, which makes more sense because when I was saying 2, I was like, I don't think I made any of them 2. Yeah, this makes way more sense. I think I got it mixed up with another one, but yeah, you can fit 3 Sims in that lodge. That was my mistake. But here we are moving on to the second lodge, and this one ends up having a bunk bed downstairs, so you've got enough room for 2 Sims. And then on the upstairs, there's a single bed and a crib for an infant. So you can actually fit 4 Sims in here. And then on the next lodge, I believe there ends up being another bunk bed, so that's 2 Sims, and then there ends up being a double bed upstairs, so you can fit 4 Sims again. So yeah, the first lodge is 3 Sims, and then the next 2 are 4 Sims. So yeah, they're very good, like family sized. You can pick one that works best for you. Here's me struggling to pick wallpaper again, and then ending up settling on the white because it just made way more sense and looked way nicer. But yeah, I don't know why I completely forgot. You know, sometimes like even if I've built something like, you know, in the last like hour, like okay, I finished building this last night, so it should be fresh on my mind, but sometimes I just forget. Like I don't know why it happens. It's really bad when you're like trying to do a voiceover to a build that you built like a few weeks ago, because you're trying to remember like why you did things and how you did things, and yeah, just trying to remember exactly what you did. It's kind of weird. Sometimes you forget. Like, okay, this a little bit of a tangent, but when I look on my channel, sometimes I actually forget certain builds that I've made. Like, I'll go down my channel and I'm like, I made that. I remember making that, but like I completely forgot. And sometimes it's a bit of a confidence boost, because there's been a few times in the past where I've been like, nah, like I'm not able to build this. Like that's not really within my capabilities. And then I'll go through my channel and I'm like, I've built something like very similar, or I've built something that was way harder to build, and it helps. Like, I don't know. Maybe I sound crazy, but yeah, it's weird, and it helps sometimes. But anyway, speaking of which, I am still doing my fallout bunker. That's something that I spoke about a little bit now. But my fallout bunker was something that I had worked on. I was almost completed it, and then it decided to delete, and that was what happened in one of the base game updates. And I have been rebuilding it slowly but surely. But yeah, it's still a work in progress. I'm hoping to get it out quite soon, because it's one of those bigger projects that is just kind of sitting in my recordings folder. So yeah, definitely hoping to get that out very soon for you guys, just in case you were wanting bit of an update on it. But anyway, we've moved on to the kitchen. We've actually did quite a lot of it. Now, I really liked this flooring, but, and this is such like a, it's not even like a big thing, but as you can see here, when the lighting comes in, the floor looks blue, and it's not really a problem because like it is black and it's just the lighting, and we can see that it is just the lighting, but for some reason, I don't know, it just didn't look right. It kind of looked like I'd chosen a blue flooring, which obviously wouldn't have really went with this theme that I was going for. And it just, I don't know, I think I just looked at it for too long and I was like, no, I can't have this. So I do end up changing it to just, I think like a black tile. I can't quite remember, but I know that I do definitely end up changing it. I also struggled here with picking a sink. I felt like these cabinets didn't look right, so I tried to go for this single sink and then I didn't like this. I ended up eventually picking a different single sink and I don't think it looks awful. Is it my favourite thing? No, but with what I had, I feel like it could have been worse. It doesn't look too bad. So yeah. And by the way, your sim can still go through this door. I was a little bit conscious of that because I was thinking, oh, I've put a sink right in front of it. Can they get out? But they can. Again, I play tested it and everything worked okay. So I was actually pleasantly surprised. I thought it was going to be one of those things where I'm like, oh no, I'm going to have to rework this whole thing. But yeah, it was actually no problem at all. So I was quite happy about that. But yeah, I think I end up adding some spices to this wall. And then we move on to the bedroom. Being completely transparent, I was watching Gilmore Girls like the whole time I was building this. And this is so strange, but I can remember exactly what episode I was on when I was like building this lodge. I don't know if anyone else like gets that, but like sometimes when I watch my footage back, I can remember what I was watching at that moment and like what was inspiring me. At the moment I've been very inspired by like Gilmore Girls and just like building, because obviously the early seasons of Gilmore Girls, which by the way, this is my first time watching it, so it's not even like a rewatch. I've never watched it before, but the earlier seasons are set in autumn, and so because it's autumn right now and I've been doing a lot of autumnal builds, yeah, it's been like a massive inspiration and it's so nice. And that was really random and probably irrelevant, but it was just one of those things. I was like, I need to mention this. But anyway, sorry, we're moving on to, well, we have moved on to the bedroom. So as you can see, it's got a bunk bed in here. We've got like a TV. We've got a clock, a lamp, and yeah, just like your basic things. I just wanted it to be like kind of nice and cute. I wanted it to feel maybe like a kid's bedroom. I wanted it to feel like it was designed for younger children, and yeah, I feel like it definitely comes across that way. I think I do end up straightening up the rug just a bit because I thought it looked nicer, but apart from that, I don't think I changed anything else. But yeah, again, I don't think you're going to see me do the bathrooms just because a little bit boring, but you do see me do every other room, don't worry. I mean, I feel like I should mention this, maybe not 33 minutes in, but this is a bit of a longer video, so I really hope that you guys are like cozy at least, or like you have something to eat or drink, because yeah, it is a little bit longer. I think recently my videos have been a bit longer. I think I just keep building things that actually in my head I'm like, oh, this is going to be a really nice quick video, and then they end up being really, really long. But yeah, I hope you don't mind that. I really enjoy long form content. I find it very fun. I love watching long form content myself, so I kind of just hope that you guys do too. And I know that a lot of people do, and I'm glad that a lot of people have said that they do. But yeah, it's always something that I am still aware of, just because I know maybe not everyone does. But hopefully you're okay with it. And if you've made it this far, like, thank you so, so much. Please feel free to like and subscribe if you haven't already. It really, really helps me out. It lets me know that you guys are enjoying the videos. And yeah, maybe drop a comment if you like. I am trying to think what emoji we could do. Is there like an acorn emoji? Or like something to do with camping? Anything like wildernessy, I'll take. Like a squirrel? Yeah, like I don't know. Anything you like, just to let me know that you made it this far and that you're a real one. But anyway, we are doing the upstairs of this lodge now. And now I really like the upstairs to this one. I think this might be my favourite upstairs. I like that I was able to fit so much. I love that there's an infant bed. It works really nicely. It's perfect for a bigger family. And I'm such a big fan of it. After this one, I think we then move straight on to the third lodge, which is our last lodge, of course, but I'm super excited because you'll finally be able to see like the different things I did for each one. Oh, I did also add these like leaf curtains on the outside. I just thought they looked a little bit wildernessy, kind of cute. So yeah, I feel like that wasn't worth mentioning, but I don't know. I really like them. We got them with the Bloomin' Rooms kit, and I really like that kit. I love adding leaves and plants to builds, so yeah, definitely a good kit. I think if you're like a plant lover, you'll really like that one. Sometimes with kits, I'm a little bit hit or miss. Like I can be like, I don't use that one a lot. Or for example, there's ones that are good, but they're circumstantial. For example, the basement kit, the basement treasures kit, I think it's called. It's good. We got a good plant from there, and we got good like kind of clutter items that you can put in attics, which are really good. They're really good for like filler things, but in terms of everyday use, I don't lean to it. So it's one of those things where I'm like, I don't know if it's like worth getting, but at the same time it does have its purpose. So I don't know. It's a weird one. I do really like kits, but I think we have been getting a lot of them recently. So it's nice that we're getting an expansion. Although we've been getting quite a lot of expansions recently. Our last expansion was the Life or Death. No, our last expansion was Businesses and Hobbies, right? Yeah. And that wasn't even that long ago. So, I mean, I'm not complaining. I actually really like Businesses and Hobbies. I like what they did with it. So that was a good one. But in the For Rent pack, that was a really good one because I feel like that was a good introduction to kind of like hotels and stuff. Anyway, I am just rambling on and not talking about the build. So just got a little bit sidetracked there. Anyway, we're building the kitchen. Now, I had a little bit of trouble here working out where I wanted to put everything, getting everything sorted. I think it ends up looking okay, but yeah, it did take me a little bit of time. I was trying to be very conscious that I left enough counter space, because in The Sims you do need to have counter space, otherwise your Sims cannot cook things. It's really annoying. I wish that they could just cook on counters that had clutter on them. I feel like they should make that a thing, right? But I don't know. It's not a thing. I do understand why it's not a thing. I think it would just be like a bit much, and I understand that because the clutter pieces count as objects, it would just get in the way. So it does make sense, but yeah, it's a little bit annoying sometimes because I just want to clutter every single like space. Even just like putting something on the back corner, but I think sometimes your Sims can still be funny, want to use it. So yeah, and just one of those things, but it's not a big deal. I thought I would mention it though, just in case you were wondering why I don't clutter up every counter. That is the reason. But anyway, we're moving on to the living room. As you can see, I went for blue again. It is a different shade of blue though, so cut me some slack, okay? It's a little bit different. But yeah, this room is very, very cozy. It's kind of coastally, but I think it still is like that kind of cabiny vibe. I wasn't sure what plant to put in this corner. I was honestly deciding, like my life depended on it. I was like, what should I put here? I actually really like the plant that I chose. One of my new favorites, I think. And then I cluttered up the wall with some pictures as well. I'd really like to hear your guys' like thoughts on the new expansion pack coming out though, because I actually think it looks really fun. It wasn't something that I expected. Like sometimes I have a bit of like a theory of, oh, it might be this and it might be this, and sometimes I just expect that they might come out with certain packs, but this one I didn't expect. Kind of like Horse Ranch, I really didn't expect that one. That was nice to be able to get the introduction of horses, and it's weird because it almost feels like we've had horses like forever now, but we've obviously not. We only got horses very recently. But yeah, let me know what you think of the pack coming out. Like, are you excited for it? Are you not so happy about it? Is there anything that you really would like to see the Sims team do? Like, would you like to see them come out with a specific kind of pack? I lost my train of thought there. Would you like to see the Sims, you know, make like a specific pack? Is there one that you've always kind of been waiting on and you're like, oh, I just hope that they make it? Because yeah, I'd love to hear it. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, with this pack, from what I've seen, people have been making like bed and breakfasts. And I think that might be like a new thing that you can do with this pack. Now, I don't know completely how it works. I would definitely have to look into a little bit more and definitely do a little bit of play testing just to see kind of how that does work. But yeah, I'm pretty sure there's something to do with the bed and breakfast in this new pack. And yeah, not too sure how it works. Maybe it's like similar to this where there's like a like an extra area that you can go where maybe you can have things like that. I'm not too sure. I really don't know. But anyway, I am excited to see it. Maybe it's like it might be like a custom thing. It might be like I don't know, like a custom venue or something. I'm not sure. I'm like trying to work it out, but I don't know. But I had seen, I think it was Simmery Sims. She made, I think two bed and breakfasts, and they were so nice. They were really, really cool. And I'm pretty sure it was with the new expansion pack. I might be wrong, like just correct me if that is not right, but I'm pretty sure I seen her do them and they looked so cool. And yeah, I'm thinking it must be something in relation to this pack, but I can't quite remember. Now I feel awful. I feel like I should have like looked into it a little bit. But anyway, that if that is a thing, I feel like that's super fun. I'm definitely gonna have to have a crack at something like that. But yeah, anyway, we have done the, you can probably see that the staircase is in like a slightly different spot. So I ended up having the double bed, and then because there's like not much room, I actually put like chairs that are kind of like stacked on top of each other in the corner of the room, just for like a little bit of show. Like I thought it looked a little bit realistic, and then I added like a bookshelf and such as well. But yeah, just because the stairs were in a bit of a different place, I wasn't really able to lay it out like I had the other ones. So yeah, hopefully not an issue, but just thought I'd mention it in case you were wondering when we get to that point, like what am I doing? But yeah, we have a little sofa up here. We've got a dresser as well, a Chester drawers, if you know, you know. But yeah, I really like this. I really like how it turned out. I'm actually really happy with this build overall. Sorry, my voice was like, felt like it was gonna give in there. I'm actually really happy with this build overall. I really like how it turned out. I think that it's definitely the vibe I was going for. I love that I was able to do like the 3 A-frames because I wasn't too sure at first, like on my capabilities. I was like, will I be able to execute this well? Again, I'd only made like 1 A-frame before, and I was a little bit concerned that these would be too small, but they're actually like such a decent size, especially for the size of lot, because I realistically would love to have built this on a bigger lot, but I think this was the biggest lot in the world. I think it's a 40 by 30, so it's not like it's not small, but for the amount of terrain and stuff that I had, it was a little bit on the smaller side. So I just had to kind of go with what I had. But again, I really like it. I'm so happy with how it turned out, and I really hope that you guys do too. You definitely have to let me know in the comments down below what you think. And you know, if you play with it, I would love to see it. Even like tag me over on X or like on Instagram. Like, I do not mind at all. I'm actually like not really very active on X, Twitter, whatever. I'm not very active on there, but yeah, I probably should try and be, because I feel like, yeah, I don't know, I just feel like I should be. I'm definitely more active on Instagram, but either works if you ever want to notify me. But anyway, we are coming to the end of this video, so I do just want to say a massive thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you did enjoy it, please make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one, and hopefully we can get a little video out with the new expansion pack as well. But thank you all once again, and I will see you next time. Bye.